Greetings and salutations when it comes to, Doctor Who for you, especially the classics. Well, sometimes there has always been those moments of terror.
If they're preparing for a battle, they're hardly likely to send men on patrol on the off chance that you might come back. On the other hand, I could be wrong about that.
Stand still.
Oh, absolutely.
So, we're gonna try and do something. We're gonna look at the top 5 scariest classic Who stories. So yeah, this ought to be interesting. So, let's get started. Before we do that though, I need to ask a question. We are? For you. So number 5 was The Seeds of Doom. So the 4th Doctor, who is a scientific advisor to investigate a mysterious pod found in Antarctica. However, a crazed millionaire and plant collector, Harrison Chase, is also interested, and he has sent his violent henchman, Scorby, and the botanist, Arnold Keeler, to acquire the malignant alien plant for his personal collection. And honestly, I think that's the idea of this is pretty kind of scary because, say a billionaire, try to say, hey, I'm going to take this, mysterious pod that can, is showing up in Antarctica, a place that's frozen, and I'm going to just, fine, I'm going to take this, and all that. So, I mean, there are some goofy moments for this one, like, say, when it comes to chase sequences, like, say, the Doctor just, like, brilliantly just, like, saying, like, snap!
Now, Doctor!
And all that. And yeah, it's very interesting. So number 4 was Horror of Fang Rock. So the TARDIS lands near an isolated Rock Island lighthouse just after a comet strikes the nearby sea and a sudden chilling fog.
This light shot across the sky, went under the sea, it did, and the sea was all glowing.
There's something going on here tonight. Something I don't understand.
Gentlemen, I've got news for you. This lighthouse is under attack, and by morning we might all be dead.
Soon after, electrical problems take hold of the generator, and one of the keepers dies mysteriously. So, honestly, when it comes to it, I always think the idea of, lighthouses, they always have, especially, when you live in the coast, they always have this idea of, mystery, and at the same time, a bit of terror. Because, what is, say, behind those lighthouses? What is, in that distance? What is in that fog? And all that. And, this is, looking back, this is classic Who. So you have some classic moments of this one.
Slay me now. It is the fate of the old and crippled.
Yeah, I'm kind of a bit of a sucker when it comes to, stories that place on islands and, lighthouses, because you're always able to give a bit of a more that involves, say, the ocean and all that. But, so number 3 was Pyramids of Mars. So the burial chamber of the alien Osiris, Sutekh, inspired by the Egyptian god Set, is unearthed by the archaeology professor Marcus Herman. Alive but immobilized, Sutekh seeks his freedom by using Professor Scarman as his servant to destroy the jewel and a pyramid on Mars, which is keeping him prisoner. So, when it comes to it, this one is a kind of a classic. This hero gets inspiration from the Universal classic film The Mummy. It also introduced Isis to one of the most powerful adversaries to the Doctor. In this case, that he would go up, and he would also, in a way, come back for, say, this new generation of Who. And this hero, it has a great use of colors. Which gives it a memorable tone, and but scarier than mummies. Well, not mummies, but I also kind of think that Gabriel Wolf, he does a great job when it comes to the voice of Sutekh.
Use your powers for evil.
Evil?
Your evil is my good. I am Sutek the Destroyer.
And I'm gonna say it. I like the color scheme for this episode, this serial. It's honestly just like say, hey, all the colors, the greens, and all that. It's honestly just good. It was Talons of Wing Shang. The Doctor and Leela land in Victorian London and find themselves in the middle of missing girls, mutilated bodies, and vicious Chinese gangs. The palace theater, presenting hypnotist Lun Shin Chang, seems to be at the center of it all. So let's first get this out of the way. That things that have not aged well, with, classic Who, is, Chinese stereotypes.
I did not see him.
Good. Now you will go from here to your office.
But it does give, some classic Who vibes, because when you think about it, there have always been a bit of comparisons between the Doctor and Sherlock Holmes, because there's always been moments when it comes to Who, in which he's always trying to, say, okay, I'm going on the hunt, I'm going on a mystery. And, yeah, it has a bit of, that Sherlock Holmes-y vibes.
You've got any information?
At the moment, Sergeant, we're looking for information ourselves.
Professor Lightfoot left a message for you, son.
He did?
With, with the Fourth Doctor's look. And, yeah, what's greater than Sherlock Holmes? And as well as, I gotta say, I kind of think that the characters in this are really interesting. At the same time, yeah, I'm gonna say, the character of Wing, it's product of its time. So number 1 was Damon's. The Doctor and Jo race to the village of the Devil's Inn to prevent what the Doctor believes could be a disaster from midnight evacuation due to take place, and mysterious events are happening, not helped by Reverend Majesty. This one is a classic! And we get to see the Doctor go up against Azal and the Master in this show. And the vibes that we have from this one are mixed between kind of Poe and also the idea of, say, the Hammer horror, and that the spins of it, when, moments of, say, when the dark, when characters are just roaming out, and sometimes they would see things and go, they'd be what is that? And all they're just going, say, Majesty, is that you? Or all that, the idea of the occult, or, say, demons that have gone on through the generations and all that. It has a bit of, they talk about, say, the cult, they talk about demons, they talk about angels and all that. And it even has the idea of the May Day celebration. And, yeah, whenever you have the Master in Classic Who, it's always fun.
Why not? I've got a machine outside that can annihilate you.
You lie!
You've already felt its power.
It is destroyed!
One of them, yes.
And I think the serial is rather great with the Doctor involved in the May Day polls and all that. Look for the Azal. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you can tell, say, at times it's a bit of a mask, but it's the look of it. Pretty great. Pretty great. What was your favorite classic, scary Doctor Who episode? See you next time.